There's been a lot of talk lately about how we're increasingly isolating ourselves into ideological bubbles. The worry seems to be that in surrounding ourselves with people who agree with us, we're losing our sense of how someone might reasonably disagree, which is accelerating political polarization. Tai Nguyen, a philosopher at Utah Valley University, thinks we should be worried about bubbles of this sort, but he thinks we should be even more worried about what he calls echo chambers. An echo chamber, according to Nguyen, is, quote, a social structure from which relevant voices have been actively discredited. To see the difference between a mere bubble and an echo chamber, let's consider a couple of examples. Example number 1. Paul is a social media user who has accumulated 200 followers since he joined the network last year. These friends are almost all from his college class, and they all have extremely similar backgrounds, political views. Whenever there's some major political event, Paul takes to Facebook, where he finds almost everyone agreeing about how to interpret and evaluate it. At least online, Paul inhabits an ideological bubble. This is because his social network naturally filters friends, so he ends up hearing from a very narrow segment of the population. Now, consider a second example. Paul joins a group on his online social network devoted to championing the benefits of extreme exercise. When some members start to express concern that the group is developing unhealthy norms, they're immediately kicked out. Further, the remaining members come up with a theory. Those who dissent are only doing so because they lack willpower. Anyone with enough drive would complete the extreme workouts and wouldn't complain. In the first case, Paul's behavior naturally filtered the pool of views to which he was exposed and left him in a bubble. In the second, the group itself took steps to actively discredit dissenters. As should be clear, echo chambers are more dangerous than bubbles, partly because of their ability to lock us into certain worldviews. But the two are closely related. Bubbles become echo chambers when groups give up on tolerating diversity of opinion. This insight into the differences between bubbles and echo chambers provides the key to understanding how we can protect ourselves against the dangers that each present to the way that we form our beliefs. First, of course, we should be intentional about the information that we expose ourselves to, seeking out intelligent people with whom we disagree, and attempting to fully understand their arguments. Secondly, though, we need to keep an eye on our own motives. When we find ourselves discrediting views we disagree with, and when we find others around us supporting and encouraging us to do so, we need to take a step back and reorient ourselves. We need to ask ourselves whether our picture of our opponents is accurate and well thought out, or whether we might be trapped in the feedback loops characteristic of echo chambers. These things obviously aren't easy to do, but they're well worth the effort, both for ourselves and our potential connection to the truth, and for those around us.